29, 2003, and this is the start of the Wilkes County Retired School Personnel Video Project. Today with us we have Brenda Dobbins, one of our members, and I will be interviewing her, and then in turn she will be interviewing me. Okay, Brenda, please state your name, the date, the address, and the area of the county that you live in.
I am Brenda Lorraine Adams Dobbins, born in Surrey County, April 20th, 1949. My address is 3229 Wilkes-Yadkin Road in Warren River, which was formerly the U.S. Highway 421. And I'm in the eastern part of the county, and I live in a brick ranch-style home trimmed in orange.
Very good. Where do you vote?
In the Newcastle precinct, which was the old Klingman School.
Okay, tell us your personal history, starting with your husband and going back to your children, grandchildren, or whatever.
My spouse is Spencer Ray Dobbins. We were married on Saturday, April the 13th, 1974, and he's a service technician with Sprint. He's been there for 32 years. And we're blessed with one son after 7 years of marriage, and that's Brian Reese Dobbins. He was born on Tuesday, April 21st, 1981, and he's a senior sports management major at Western Carolina University.
Very good. Okay, I know you like genealogy, and I know you know a lot of your family background. Tell me about your parents and your siblings.
Well, my father was James Everett Archie. We knew him as Archie Everett Adams. And my mother was Margaret Ophelia Petty Adams. Daddy was born in Rhonda, and my mom was born in Warren River. I have 4 siblings. My older brothers are James Everett and Albert Nathaniel. And I have a sister, Lillian Jane, and then Mom and Dad surprised us. There's 3 years between all 4 of us, and then Mom and Dad surprised us 18 years later with a baby when I was a senior in college, and my sister was a senior at East Wilkes, and Lisa Danette Adams was born in 1970. My grandparents on my mom's side were Tyra Abraham and Lillian Florence Harris Petty. On my dad's side was Thomas Arthur, they called him Uncle Johnny, and Ida Virginia Edwards Adams. My grandparents, as far as I can tell, Abraham and Jane Parks Petty were both former slaves living in Warren River. Abraham Petty belonged to a Colonel Petty, and Jane Parks belonged to a Larkin Parks. There's a home in Warren River where my grandmother, she turned up to go to Warren River School where my grandmother was a slave. My grandparents on my grandmother's side, my great-grandparents on my grandmother's side was James Nathaniel, they called him Tank Harris, and Charity Elizabeth Lizzie was her nickname, Morrison Harris. They resided in Straw, North Carolina, which is actually at the Edgewood Road in North Wilkesboro now. And then my grandparents on my father's side, my great-grandparents on my father's side was Stonewall Jackson and Molly Curry Edwards and Maddie Adams. That's all I know of them.
That's quite a bit. Very good. Okay, tell us something about your educational history, where you went to school, college, graduate school, and what's so important about going through that?
Living in Warren River, I attended the only black school in the Wilkes County area. In fact, at Lincoln Heights School, students from Allegheny, Surrey County, Yadkin County, and some in Ashe County all came to Lincoln Heights for their high school years. But I graduated in 1966. And then I attended North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University in Greensboro and majored in comprehensive business education. And I graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in 1970. And in 1986, I decided to go back to school after going to Appalachian and getting my vocational certification through the State Department. I decided to go back and work on my master's, so I went to the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and received a Master of Science degree in 1989 in business education. I started teaching at East Wilkes High School in 1971, but prior to that, I could not find a teaching position. So I worked at North Carolina National Bank in Greensboro as a clerk during the summer. In September, I went to Philadelphia, where most of my mom's siblings migrated to, and I worked at North City Congress as a receptionist for a couple of months before getting the job at General Electric. And I was a secretary at General Electric for a couple of months, and I was laid off, and I was homesick, so I came back home, and in February of '71, I started working at A&T in the bookstore as a secretary. And I worked there from February to '71 until August of '71. And they started a new program in Wilkes County, individualized instruction. And I was hired in Wilkes County as a technical aide. And I was working at East Wilkes High School during the '71-'72 school year. And then the next year I actually received my teaching position. So I was actually at East Wilkes as a business teacher from '72 to 2000 with it. I worked my way through college. I worked on at A&T on the work-study program and was a National Defense Student Loan. And the first summer after my freshman year, I worked on a PACE program at the Wilkes County Regional Library. My teaching experience was wonderful. I enjoyed the students. East Wilkes was the closest thing that I had to Lincoln Heights, where the parents still sent their children to school to learn. And we formed a relationship, there was a caring relationship there with the students. Now, we started out with the individualized instructions, with the individualized plans for each student, and then we ended up by the '90s, we were doing VOCATS, Vocational Achievement Tracking System. With the VOCATS took a lot of the creativity out of our teaching, but it allowed us to be able to follow with our students, to know exactly where they were, and to be in coordination with schools all over North Carolina. While at East, I was the FBLA co-sponsor, and I was the sponsor for the last 5 years. I was a new teacher mentor from 1985 to 2000. I was the staff development coordinator for most of my time there. I worked with the ASU Public School Partnership for a while. We did the junior-senior prom, and my first assignment at East Wilkes was the junior varsity and the varsity cheerleaders, which I had for 5 whole years. I actually dated my husband, and we transported cheerleaders up and down the mountains.
Well, it sounds like you've had a long work life. Okay, tell us something about your religious activities. I know you're very active in church.
I'm a member of Poplar Spring Missionary Baptist Church in Warren River, and have been since I was about 10 years old. Right now, I'm the financial secretary and an usher. For about 25 years, I was a former youth supervisor and teen Sunday school teacher. My students actually said they had to study 6 days a week. They had to study for Sunday school as much as they did for regular school. Now I'm the Wilkes County Missionary Union Special Worker, and I'm on the board for the Women's Home and Foreign Missionary Convention in Raleigh.
Sounds like you have your hands full. Okay, what civic organizations have you belonged to, or do you belong to now, and what are the offices that you hold?
I work with the Lincoln Heights Recreation Corporation and the program chairman. I'm responsible for the Martin Luther King celebration, the Black History program, the Lincoln Heights School Reunion, which we do every 2 years, and I actually created a Lincoln Heights alumni album in 2002. I work with the Wilkes County Retired School Personnel, and I've recently taken the job on as treasurer. The Wilkes County 4-H Advisory Board, Respite Care of Wilkes County Board, and I'm with the Eastern Stars financial secretary.
Sounds like you're busy. That's why I can't ever get you on the telephone. What are your hobbies?
I enjoy reading. I have read every 9 editions of the Left Behind series. I love reading. I can get lost in books. And I enjoy working with the computers, and I enjoy genealogy.
That's 3 very time-consuming activities. Have you published any books, articles, or have bios in any books?
No, but I do have several recognitions that I've listed. I was East Wilkes Teacher of the Year in 1986 and 1999 through 2000. I'm listed in the Who's Who Among Teachers for 1996, Who's Who in America in 1996, 2000 Notable American Women in 1995. In 1995, I was invited to go with the People to People Citizen Ambassador Program on a workforce journey to China, and I found that very rewarding. We spent 2 weeks in Beijing, Shanghai, and in Hangzhou, and looking at their educational program. I'm also listed in Who's Who in American Education in the 92-93 edition. I was the Wilkes County NCAE treasurer in 88 and 89, and then from 93 through 95. And in 1988, I received the NCAE Human Relations Award.
What do you consider to be your most important contribution in life?
Just working with people. I enjoy people, and I think that if I can bring out the best or create something that will be lasting that other people can enjoy down through the years, that would be my most best one.
Okay, is there anything else that you would like to add to this interview?
No.
So that's
Mighty. Today, January 23rd, 2003, we're going to interview Hazel Roche, who is the president of the Wilkes County Retired School Personnel. Hazel, tell us about you.
okay. Today is the 29th, isn't it?
Did I say 20? I'm sorry.
This is January the 29th, 2003. My name is Hazel Marie Gamble Roche, and I live on Brushy Mountain Road at 6024. And I live in the Brushy Mountain Township, and I vote at the old jewelry station up on the mountain. I have a Moravian Falls address. We have a brick home with columns on the front. It's down in the woods. It's about in the middle of a little over 7 acres. And I assume by today's standards in building homes, it's kind of small. But it has 3 decks on the back. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and combination living room, dining room, and kitchen, a small den. And it has a few extras, like skylights and intercom and garage door openers and that kind of stuff. The stove that turns into a barbecue grill. And I have 3 ovens in my kitchen.